some reason, you're listening to Hoppothetically. Enjoy. Episode 23 of Hoppothetically. We are back. We got Nicky Downtown and Jordan Peterson.
That was my joke from earlier.
Jordan Peterson, new nickname for Fat Nate. That's going to be canon for the next, I don't know, till I come up with another one. Peterson.
Wait, I called you Doughy Nick.
It didn't stick. I don't know what happened. I thought it might. I was like, ooh, that's interesting, but it didn't stick. Nicky Downtown seems to have stuck.
You don't think the fans are going to like it?
No, I think it seems like Nicky Downtown is what people are sticking with. So I don't know. I mean, you could.
What's the downtown part?
It's Nicky Downtown.
No, I know, but what is it? Because you say it, but you're not from downtown. You're from the West End. You white. What does the downtown part of your name mean?
Downtown's what I'm going to do to you if you don't lay the fuck off, huh? I'm going to go downtown on you.
My girlfriend.
In a violent way, which is what I mean, if that wasn't clear. Nicky Downtown. Why is he called Nicky Downtown? Because he'll fuck you up. What? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, we're getting a little too deep, Jordan Peterson. But I guess that's classic Peterson.
Yeah, that's what a neo-Marxist would say. Do you want to do the first question or do you want me to do it?
Let's say them at the same time.
I don't think will work for so many reasons.
My question's pretty simple. What if your hair was snakes? Your hair is like 38 snakes. They don't bite you, but other than that, they act like normal snakes.
I'm worried I'd have when I went to go get a haircut, there'd be protesters being like, dude, this is fucked up. You can't kill all these snakes every time you want a haircut. And I'm like, dude, it's getting so long.
You would actually get a haircut?
Yeah, I would. Did they come back?
No, they wither and die. But the corpse, bald? No, you would have snake corpses buried in your head, dead snake nubs.
Just the skeletons. If I wait long enough, it'll just be skeletons.
You have a set amount of snakes, and you better not let them die because it'll be gross. You'll have dead, and they'll smell, and then stuff will try to birds will start eating your head. So you got to keep the snakes alive, which means you have to dunk your head into water, and then you have to find.
Yeah, my next thing was gonna be about how I'd have to feed my hair things. Would any of that sustenance go to me? Would I get fat from my hair? I'm worried I'd need to constantly be putting my hair under heat lamp.
And then all of the snakes would fan out really wide.
I would just be bald. I'd just be a bald person.
You wouldn't be bald. You'd be dead snakes.
Do you think, because you know how when people look at Medusa, she's just so horrible looking that she turns to stone. Do you think nowadays people would call that out for being not PC? Just dude, that's really fucked up that you're body shaming her so hard that you turned yourself to stone.
Think it'd be funny if you could turn yourself to stone to just do it when you looked at people just to call them ugly.
I feel like you would have people that are kind of cowards about it and don't turn to stone, but they want to show how ugly someone is, so they just fake it. And dude, I know you're faking it.
Snake hair or snake penis?
Snake hair, Nick, and because I would remove it.
If you want to get your hair cut, you have to go to a veterinarian and they put your hair down.
Yeah, you have to sign forms.
Would you rather have snake hair or your hair is one cat? No, your hair is two cats. It's like pigtails.
Oh, I'd take the two cats. Do they age? I assume they use the restroom on my head. So
no, because their butt is what's your head. They start and it's two cats. So they don't go to the bathroom. They just throw up because they don't have butts.
I don't like this.
They throw up on your face.
I don't like this at all.
And remember how I said the snakes don't bite you? Well, the cats don't have that rule. The cats scratch and bite you. The cats hate you. Would you rather have snakes, two cats, or your hair is a bald eagle?
Does it try? I'm worried it's going to try to fly.
It always tries to fly. Whenever it sees
its wings.
Whenever it sees a salmon or something, it's or just where there could be salmon, it's and tries to fly. And you put on a hat and they're like, don't put a hat on that gorgeous American bird. Yeah. And when the eagle caws, it's just your voice. It's and it's really awful.
Dude, I think if animals cawed and made sounds that sounded like people, I don't think people would be into nature. I think big oil would do way, way better if polar bears.
They'd be more pro-fracking. If polar bears were like, hey.
It's oh, dude.
Yeah, totally. Snake hair or finger hair? Your hair is a bunch of fingers.
The snake hair.
Snake hair over finger hair?
Yeah, I'm not in a Del Toro movie. That's not what I'm into.
Would you rather have snake hair or all the snakes in real life have human pubic hair and little people penises?
I don't think we're going to get anything from this other than you being incredibly gross. And no, I don't want to imagine snakes with human penises. That sounds...
Are you not imagining it?
I am, but I don't want to be doing this anymore.
And they get a boner and then they have to slither on their back?
Yeah. In this scenario, you've been married for a few years and you have a son, a teenager, I guess, and he starts acting kind of funny and you're unsure what's going on. You're like, maybe he's into drugs. I don't know why he's acting so weird. So you go into his room and you go through his stuff to see if you can find anything. And you find a cult robe and Lovecraftian kind of books, and you realize that your son is part of a cult trying to awaken Azerath and end his endless slumber to end the universe that which we live in. If you don't know the lore, Azerath dreams our universe, and he wants to awaken him to end it all.
Azerath Metreon Zinthos.
No, that's all right. And my question here is mainly for the parents that are all dealing with this. What do you do about it? I mean, you want boys to be boys, Maybe he's just young, he just needs to get it out of his system. Maybe he'll awaken Azerath. So what do you do?
Do I have snake hair in this? Does my son? It seems like my son might have snake hair.
He could be getting there. More likely it'll be weird tentacle. We probably end up more like Davy Jones. I think snakes wasn't really Lovecraft.
Would you rather have snake hair or Davy Jones tentacles hair?
Tentacle beard. You can play the piano. It's sick. He did it. It looks cool.
Does Davy Jones have any body hair?
It's all tentacles.
I'm really interested in aquatic and reptilian things having human hair today. It's just such a fascinating thing to think about.
Could you instead be interested in our podcast that we are currently doing?
What about an alligator with like a goatee or like eyebrows? What about an alligator with big brown eyebrows? They'd be all wet. They'd be wet eyebrows.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't think eyebrows are gonna make alligators any better. Like if he had like human eyes with like a soul, I think they could trick us to show us their eyes, like you're beautiful, and then they eat us. But I don't think eyebrows don't make the man.
Can we stick to the question, Nathan?
Okay.
So my teenage son is trying to summon Cthulhu
or something. I mean, it's Azerath, but yeah.
Azerath Metreon Zinthos.
No, goddamn. Fine, Cthulhu. He's trying to summon Cthulhu. Do the same thing. Destroy the universe.
Cthulhu Metreon Zinthos.
Okay. He's trying to summon a Lovecraftian monster. And also, you have to remember that even if you bring it up to him, you're going to have to tell him that you broke that
you've been reading his text?
Yeah, that you've been reading his text. Yeah, and you've been really breaking that kind of trust. But maybe, he broke trust by trying to awaken a Lovecraftian nightmare for all of eternity. Maybe there's some trust there, that's lacking.
What do you think if there's a Venn diagram, people trying to join the occult and summon Cthulhu versus incel red-pilled young men? What's the overlap there? Are most of the cultists like, yeah, we're going to bring back Cthulhu and he's going to destroy the Chad?
Every girl that has ever told me that they are a witch, I think all of them are the occultist people.
I feel like the occult is mostly guys, but then the occasional witch. Do you think the witches would complain about the culture where they're like, look, it's really like dude heavy and like kind of sexist, honestly, like the occult? I mean, I hope we just hurry up and end the world because people keep making these comments.
I feel like you're really imparting kind of like there's no patriarchy. We're all under Cthulhu, I feel like they're really just missing the point. But maybe that's just because I'm a man and that's just a man.
Nah, I think it's kind of a boys club.
Yeah, but
women can end the universe too.
But I think I think you'd get a lot of like edgy people. I think it wouldn't be as nearly. I don't imagine incels as like edgy. Like I actually
where they edge. I'm edgy. What if that's what some people meant? And you had to clarify. Yeah, I'm pretty edgy. I haven't come in about 15 hours, and I've been slowly stroking. But what did you mean? Oh, punk rock? Oh no, I did not mean punk rock.
You have this one goth guy like, yeah, dude, I'm so edgy. And this other guy just like, yeah, man, me too.
Yeah, God, it hurts.
Yeah, you are handling this like a champ.
Yeah, the goth guy's like, yeah, it does hurt. Life is pain. And he's like, yeah, my balls are in so much pain.
Yeah, dude, I think you get a lot of.
He's like, yeah, my mom left when I was a child. He's like, don't talk about my mom. Let's keep it sexy.
That is not the right energy for what is going on right now. What's the question?
Do you, if there's the occult and you have to do a human sacrifice, do you generally want to be the sacrifice or do you not want to be the sacrifice?
They usually treat you pretty nice. They give you fun stuff. Yeah,
it seems like the week before is pretty nice.
Yeah. Do you think you can be like, I have a dentist appointment. Can we reschedule? Or do you think they're not? Do you think they wouldn't be into that?
If you tried to reschedule your human sacrifice for a dentist appointment? Because you're like, look, when you're sacrificing me, I'm probably going to be smiling so much. I'm going to be so happy to be the sacrifice going, being fuel for Cthulhu Cthulhu to enter our domain. So I'd really like to be able to smile big without being self-conscious. Can you be in a cult and you're the human sacrifice, and then you're like just a huge piece of shit? So they're like, never mind. Like you're the human sacrifice, and then you do like a Me Too thing, and they're like, we're not gonna sacrifice. I mean, that's gonna fuck it. Yeah. It's not gonna look good.
Yeah, you don't represent our values. So you just start saying really fucked up shit so you can get out of being murdered.
Not murdered, sacrificed.
Like in
Yu-Gi-Oh.
But is it worse to be sacrificed at the altar of Cthulhu or in the court of public opinion?
I think you should take that one, Jordan Peterson. The radical left has been trying to stop Cthulhu for years. We need tradition and family values and tentacle apocalypse.
You know that like saying, if you do 10,000
Hakuna Matata? You know, it means no worries.
For the rest of your days?
And then you just kill yourself.
It's horrible. You've been on so many drugs for so long.
That's going to be my last words, is Hakuna Matata.
Before you kill yourself.
Before I kill myself. By eating a bunch of bugs.
What if someone stopped you and just like, wait, Nick. It means no worries. And you're like, oh. And then you just put down the gun. I thought it meant kill yourself.
I thought it meant, okay, I'm embarrassed.
You know that like quote, 10,000, like if you do 10,000 hours in something, you will become great at it, or you'll become really good. Yeah. What if the actual saying was misquoted or unfinished, and the actual thing is, if you do 10,000 hours in anything, you will become good at juggling?
Like you become a piano virtuoso.
You can only do 10,000 hours of any skill.
9,999 hours of piano. You're so good. And then you play that last note that takes you over the line. All right, hand me the beanbags. Fuck. And all these jugglers are out there like, I used to be a heart surgeon. I was making a difference.
I think that would
now ruin... throw me that bowling pin. So if you do hit the juggling wall, the juggling ceiling, then you have to restart.
You're back.
And then once you get to 20,000 hours, you can juggle 4 balls.
That's what it takes.
Could you imagine if just everyone in everyone in New York could just juggle really well, and people would just be hurling stuff into everyone's always constantly throwing stuff straight up in the air, and everyone else is so good that they can just keep it going. So when you go into New York City, it's just the whole city's juggling.
What if New York City, everyone thought they were really good at juggling? Everyone's still hurling stuff in the air. Look up, realize they cannot catch those things. And it's just raining just random small shit.
If I learned juggling, I would start with chainsaws. I would throw 3 on chainsaws in the air, and then I would go, oh, Jesus, and I fuck that, and then I'd run away.
You'll either become the best juggler ever, or you will lose your arms.
It's like Whiplash.
Yeah. Do you imagine you're juggling chainsaws?
J.K. Simmons is like, not my tempo.
He's like,
I can't hear you over the. You're juggling too slow.
I wish J.K. Simmons would teach me everything like that by hitting me in the face and screaming at me.
That would be amazing if there was like a J.K. Simmons college where every teacher acted like J.K. Simmons.
From Whiplash, yeah.
You're in Calculus 101, you fucking pussies. I'm going to fuck you like a pig. You're like, oh my God.
He starts out really nice because in the beginning he's nice. So when you're signing up for class, he's super nice, really positive, and you get in there and he just punches one of the people in the face. You're like, oh my God.
Would you ever pick someone up like this? The first, you have to go to a bar. The first thing you have to say to a woman is, I will fuck you like a pig.
I think that's J.K. Simmons' only move, but I don't think you can do it.
You send someone a drink. The bartender's like, it's from the gentleman across the bar. You sort of nod and give him a little eyebrow. Mm-hmm. Then they come over. Hi, what's your name? I will fuck you like a pig.
And then you have to start throwing musical instruments and like other shit at them. I think if you can do that, I think you'll get laid. I feel like most people would try to do it like J.K. Simmons, but they would either give up halfway through or they wouldn't. You'd be like, I'm going to fuck you like a pig. And they just wouldn't have the right energy.
I was thinking if I was ever at a bar and I said something and a girl threw a drink in my face, because that'd be embarrassing. I would, it would seem that I said some fucked up thing to the girl and now she's mad at me. So what I would do to get out of the embarrassment, the girl would throw a drink in my face, then I would take my drink and throw it into the guy next to me's face, and I would say drink fight, and then everybody would think we were just having a good old-fashioned drink fight. Everybody's throwing drinks in everybody's faces. Now Nick's not so bad. Nicky Downtown's just part of the fun. Drink fight. and he like punches me. I'm like, no, not me, the next guy, come on.
Yeah, the next guy.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. And they'd go, oh, Nicky Downtown. That's why you're called Nicky Downtown.
That's not Downtown.
You know that song by
That's
Macklemore
barely
called
Uptown.
Downtown? The original version of that song before it was released, the extended cut, he goes, Nicky Downtown.
That's the whole.
That's the only change. It's every time before he says downtown, he says Nicky because it was about me originally. But then he changed it to be about mopeds. But originally it was about me.
Why is he trying to wait? So he wants to drive the moped to you so that he can pick up this girl? That's the plot of that song?
No. Originally he picks me up.
He says girl a lot.
It's me. It's Nicky Downtown. Nicky Downtown. He
says,
has his arms around your waist.
Yeah, you're changing the line. He's talking about a woman.
With a balance that'll keep him safe. The original song, it starts like this. It goes, I went to the moped store. I said, hey, Nick. Salesman's like, oh, look, there's Nick.
I know why all of that was cut.
His agents in the studio made him change it a little bit. So it'd be
just like this song is
for a wider audience. Originally, it was for an audience of one. So you know how there's all these Christmas songs for Christians and no Christmas songs for Jews? If you had to write a Christmas song for Jews, how would it go?
On the first day of Christmas, I did nothing because I don't believe in Jesus. Like, what else would you?
I don't know. What about like Silent Night, Regular Night? What's the song about where they say the line that's like, I don't care about the presents underneath the... It's just a song about someone not wanting presents. What if, this isn't Jewish, but what if, you know the song Santa Baby? What if there was a song called Baby Santa? Baby Santa. And he goes into the chimney and he eats the milk and cookies, but he's not supposed to. Because it's going to make him stay up too late and be cranky.
Does she still keep trying to sexualize and fuck Santa that whole time? Or
I think her voice is just like that. I think Santa read that as him be like, she's trying to fuck Santa. And she's like, no, God, ew, what? Why does everyone always think I'm trying to fuck them? I'm a singer. What if that's what happened with Marilyn Monroe? You know, when she was singing Happy Birthday to JFK and everybody's like, that's so sexy. She's like, I'm singing Happy Birthday. Yeah. What could be less? It's his birthday.
Do you think how confusing that'd be when she went to every other birthday and she also sang it exactly like that?
Oh, I was going to say she sang it regular and everyone's like, what the fuck?
Just like, I invited you here. I'm turning 40. Like, it's the big 4-0. Clearly, I want it sexy. I'm tired of my wife.
Would you think it was funny or horrifying or both? If you had a birthday party with like all your friends, so there's like, what, 4 people?
No. Sick burn.
No, so you have a birthday party with like 40 people and someone has paid or convinced everyone to do sexy happy birthday. 40 people just like, happy birthday.
But they don't do it all at once. They do it one at a time. They all come in and they take off the trench coat and they all single file do that. And by the like 30th one, you're like, dude, I get this is a bit, but please stop. Have you seen? And then you open the door because someone came late and they're in a trench coat and like, are you going to do the sexy happy birthday? And it's like, no.
They just whip out their dick and jerk off in front of you. And you're like, damn it. Well, 25 is going to be a weird year. You know the old saying, trying to find a needle in a haystack? All right, what if you had to find the one straight man in the gay stack? It's a huge stack of gay people, like 2 stories tall. There's one straight guy in there. It's all guys. They're all naked. They're all deaf, and they are all soaking wet. How do you find the straight in the gay stack?
First step.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the outer layer and you look for boners. I think that's step 1. You look for a lack of boner. That's step 1. So
not all gay people, they've been in the stack for a while. Boners are starting to go down.
Like, are they at like 50% mostly at this point?
It's all over the place. It's all over the place.
Oh, man.
And it kind of depends on how you landed in the stack. If you're face up, just facing the sky, probably not so much. But you're face down or you're sandwiched, you're rock hard.
I don't know how I'm going to do this question without just saying
they can't hear you.
Oh, they can't. So I can't just start doing.
They're deaf and they're soaking wet. I mean, what do you do? Like logic your way? It's you know those interview questions that don't have an answer, but it's like, how many windows are open in downtown Manhattan or whatever? It's like one of those. It's like, all right, what's your process? Let's show us your leadership and problem solving skills.
Okay. So I would first check anyone with a boner, because I can feel it. They're gay. Anyone who I see as a boner, I take them all out of the stack.
You have to physically take them out of the stack.
Yeah, I know. One at a time.
They're wet.
Are they trying to slip to stay in the stack? Because if they have a boner, they're clearly into it. I'm worried.
Yeah. Maybe like, there we go.
Like, whoopsies. And they just like are fighting. Like, dude, you're clearly fighting me and I can't fight back because you're buffer than me. I mean, I don't want to stereotype, but I'm going to be looking at how good their abs are. If anyone that looks like a 9 or a 10, It's like, you're not straight. You're not doing this for.
All right, they're out. So how many people's that do you think? So you're down to 40, then you take out all the hotties.
Yeah, I do all the hotties.
What do you figure out? You have to get to one, you're at 15.
I fuck them each in the ass.
But then you're gay. You're gay now because you did that, and now you're in this. They put
to remove my.
They hose you down and they put you in the stack next time.
But what's weird is they hose you down, then they take off your clothing. It's like, what do you even know how to hose down a beefcake? Like, Jesus, take off the clothes first. Light olive oil. You don't need to use water.
Right.
You need to glisten. So I have eight gay men left.
8 gay men left.
No, 7 gay men and 1 straight man. This one's gonna be tough. So right now I'm at a 1 in 8 chance, which is pretty good. But you got to get them lower. I'm gonna try to break it down even less.
Maybe it's like the end of Spirited Away, where you just look at all of them and you're like, the straight man's not here, and then they all turn into straight men, and they're like, you did it.
Wait, what the fuck is turning into straight men? What happens to them?
The power to fly.
Well, I was gonna say I'll put up take some cargo shorts maybe and just be like, and just go each one. You with cargo shorts, and whichever
and then there's
one
2 left, and you're like, what the fuck? This was foolproof.
I thought the cargo shorts was my ace in the hole, and then I'll just guess 50-50. That's pretty good. I got 80-2, and I lost my job. So
yeah. Well, you did it.
Yeah, I did it, and I lost my job. I'm
not going to do it. Sign language.
Wow. So you are the host of a game show where they steal children's parents and then spirited away them for like 6 months. And then they come back on the show and they have to guess the pig, which is their parents. And if they guess right, they win $1 million. And if they guess wrong, they get pork chops. And my question to you is, as the host, how do you sell this to the audience and to the viewer base? Because I feel like you're going to have a really hard time with this whole kidnapping people's parents, making them indentured slaves for 6 months. And then when they come back, they have to guess which pig is their parents, or they get their parents murdered.
I would call the show Chopped. And there would be a lot of controversy initially. And Gordon Ramsay would be like, Chopped already... Is it Gordon Ramsay on the show? Whatever. One of those judges would be would first of all, the judge would be upset because they're like, we already have Chopped. And I would be like, your daughter's the first contestant on Chopped. And then I would abduct Gordon Ramsay and turn him into a pig.
Oh, I thought you would get him to make the pork chops.
No, in a sense, he'll make the pork chops if his daughter can't figure it out.
I think you're going to have a really hard time with jokes. I think people are going to be pretty upset.
A lot of weird crowd work. I'll be like, so, Emily, where are you from? She's like, Dad's a pig. Like, yeah, tell me about it, parents, huh?
When she's like, it's none of them, and you're like, no. Now we're killing all of them. They're all dying now. And one of them was definitely your parents. I think what you would do per shoot, you would do like 8 or 10 children. And whichever ones reacted the best during the show, you only use that one. And all the other parents you just use to have more pigs.
Pigs are really smart, unlike parents. Am I right? They don't get any. They don't understand. So, Emily.
How would you get past the children are crying and pretty beat
I would
up?
Edit that out.
You would just
edit in laughing. The whole time they're like, ha, 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 my dad. Ha, 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 ha. I miss him so much. Ha, 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 ha. We'd have a crackerjack editing team.
Do you think the show would be good if they edited in a backstory for all the people and talked about how much that kid could use the parents? Or do you think that would just make it?
I think it'd be fun, a touching story. But then the kid would like suck. It'd be like the beginning of American Idol where the kid's like, I don't know, is it that pig? And everyone's like, I don't know, who told you could be on this show? That's pig's not your dad. And then we'd execute their dad with a guillotine.
It's a pig. You don't need to do that.
Oh, no. We turn them back into the human first because we want to, show the kid we're being honest. Like, look, this is your dad and this is the cooker. And then we go to commercial break.
And the next scene is just the kid crying and eating pork chops.
Clifford the Big Red Dog? What if there was a sequel, Clifford the Galactic-Sized Dog, and he's as big as like a world-ending asteroid, and he's headed towards Earth. And he's like, like he just wants some pets and he wants to play fetch and stuff, but he's coming towards Earth and he's going to destroy the planet. And there's only a month.
Do you think the government would be like, okay, everyone needs to go outside and scream as loud as you can? Bad dog. No. And those would be the conspiracy people being like, dude, Clifford isn't even coming to Earth. And even if he was, shouting no would not work. And then there's other people be like, are you against science? Go go outside and scream no as loud as you fucking can.
And all the Azerath cultists are like, we've done it!
Finally!
Azerath is much cuter than I anticipated. We'll have to change the t-shirts, but we've done it. And then they grab the one girl's ass, and she's like, damn it!
Dude, I thought we were on the same team. No, I imagined if it got to Earth, all the cultists be like, oh, I mean, I wanted the world to end, but not a dog. I wanted an octopus.
What if instead of just saying no, they have to Bruce Willis style use nuclear powered drills to drill down into Clifford's skull and then put bombs in there to blow Clifford into a bunch of pieces, so that way the pieces are small enough to not destroy Earth?
Couldn't they just fire off a big bone rocket?
We don't have big bone rocket. What we have is a nuclear arsenal. They blow up Clifford, and everyone on Earth would all be able to see it simultaneously. It would be the sky would have a big dead dog who's so trusting. When the rocket landed on his head, his tail was wagging, but we on Earth all know what the mission is. And then President Biden goes on TV and just says a bunch of incoherent stuff about a dog he had when he was a kid who
rubbed his leg hair.
Rubbed his leg hair in the pool.
That's the only thing he talks about. I'd just be worried if I ever had kids. They'd be like, what happened to Clifford, the galactic-sized dog? It's like, he went to a farm. It's like, no, I think I see his skull and
see him.
Like, no, dude.
He literally orbits the Earth now.
Wait, is that the farm where Snickers went?
What if there was
you just shoot the dogs into space?
After you kill Clifford, he orbits Earth, and there's a moon, and then there's a dead dog that sometimes bumps into the moon, and it's sad.
It affects the tide.
And you can still from Earth read his collar that says Clifford, and then there's a number, and then you call the number, and they're like, "Did you find Clifford?" And you just hang up because you can't. You can't bear to tell them that Clifford is dead and orbiting the planet.
I feel like I would just be like, how big are you guys? Are you guys also galactic sized?
And they're modest. They're like, yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like they'd be the opposite. Like, are you commenting on my weight?
I've been working on it.
Yeah, I've been working on it, dude. I'm like planetary at this point. It look really good. And then they keep making sequels, and it's like this is gonna be a niche anime, but if you like, it'd be like Gurren Lagann.
Oh, would it be like Gurren Lagann?
Yeah, or at the end, it's Clifford's chasing after whole galaxies because he's just so fucking massive. And then they would have to make a big Gundam fight him. This is my thing, dude. I think the best mecha anime of like the early 2000s was Ratatouille. People aren't talking about that.
It wasn't Evangelion.
It was not Evangelion Gallican. I didn't even say that right. I just added a bunch of G's at the end.
Evangelio Gibiligello.
Yeah, it wasn't Evangelion. I think Ratatouille was much more down to earth, and it was a mecha anime for the people. You know, everyone likes
touch my belly on Gillian Kellyon.
I don't think anyone will get any of that, but I wanted at the end him to pull out a big sword, and then he cuts like pasta or whatever the fuck.
He cuts the restaurant critic.
It just cuts him in.
Who's controlled by a different rat.
Yeah. He's bald, so it's he doesn't have as much control over him.
Right.
He only has one hair. You can just make his head go up like that.
He makes his head go up, which is perfect to get his head sliced off. Are we almost done?
Stop being a pussy and just do the work.
I do all the work.
Hustle culture. That's not even. It's not even true anymore.
He's making a website that doesn't exist.
I've been sending you photos, and you have not been responding.
He keeps sending me pictures of his dick, and I don't respond. And he's like, "Why don't you respond? This is what the website looks like." And I'm like, "This is your dick." And he's like, "No, it's you don't understand programming. It's the back end." The back end is his butt.
You're inviting our family to dinner, and I arrive first, and I sniffle a few times, and you are you, so you kill me in cold blood and bury me in the floorboards. And then when the whole family comes, you start hearing sniffling. You being like, "Does anyone need to blow their nose?" And everyone's like, "No, I don't think so." But you're just so racked with guilt. You keep hearing my sniffling. And it's just like, what do you do with that?
I'd probably go insane and start just blowing people's noses. I'd run up to people and just take a tissue up to their nose and start squeezing. They're like, I don't have a cold. I'm like, you all have the sniffles.
You check everyone's nose and you find out that nobody has the sniffles.
Then I assume it must be my own nose. So I cut off my nose and my penis.
So once you're a eunuch Voldemort, then what?
I mean, I would probably exhume your body and then blow your nose one last time. I would put like an air pump in your mouth and then pump it so then the air had nowhere to escape except your nose.
And as you go to bed, you hear 3 more sniffles at your door.
And then you burp. And I'm like, God damn it.
God damn it. It never ends. You just keep hearing my not bodily fluids. That'd be weird. Bodily what's the term?
Noises. You think when people describe Voldemort, they're like cool about the no nose thing?
I think they bring it up.
They're like, he's about 5'11". He wears robes.
I think it's like when people try to
kind of sinister. Anything else about him? No, I mean, he's just
kind of like
normal, cool guy. I mean, I guess he's sort of balding, which is fine. I mean, it's typical. It actually means more. He's more responsive to testosterone, that's pretty cool. Next time we see each other in person and you sniffle, I'm just gonna start shitting on the walls. I'm gonna just skip all the bullshit, straight to insane. Nick, do you want seconds on Thanksgiving Day? I'm shitting on the walls, Mom. Nathan can't keep it together. You know what I wish more people would do? Like, how everybody just farts? They just let out farts and they don't even use a tissue and blow their ass. I stick a tissue in there and I blow my ass. I put a tissue down there and I go into the tissue and then I throw it away.
I think people would just be like, why didn't you use toilet paper in the back? What?
No, it's nice because if you use a tissue to blow your ass, you can use the same tissue to blow your nose.
Dude, have you sharted recently? I sharted recently and it was...
It's because you don't blow your ass enough.
Yeah, I know, I don't. I sharted recently. It was a nightmare. Walking out of the store and I fart and she's like, ew. And then I start kind of walking funny. I'm like, maybe I can just make it home. And then I realized, and I have to sit in the car. I gotta go. I just started demanding I have to go back. And she kept asking why, and I wouldn't tell her. And she was like, you're acting kind of weird. And then she got really upset. And I had to start making up. I got into a fight with her. I had to fake other things I was upset about because I was too embarrassed to just say I shat myself a little bit.
Mans charted the other day. Wow. She was sitting in her desk and she was also just sitting on some laundry. So she shit her pants and then shit another pair of pants. She comes out, she's like, Nick, I shit 2 pairs of pants.
If I have children and I pass away, will you delete every episode of this podcast so they never hear Jordan Peterson, Fat Nate, and NATO? What if NATO stood for Nathan? That's not how I want to be remembered.
I'm going to edit it. I'm going to edit it so it's you saying that every time. It would be like, this was your father's one contribution. It's going to be that and then sniffles, like a supercut of that and sniffles. And because I'm worried you're going to have kids and it's just going to be a family of fucking snifflers. It's going to be like 6 of you just going to be horrifying.
You're going to have to kill all of us. You're going to have to end the bloodline. That's the only way to keep it.
Yeah, I'd come in with a chainsaw.
Or they'll come back for revenge. And one day you'll wake up and they will have made you a sniffler. That's the end of this horror movie. And you'll cut off your nose, but you'll have phantom sniffles.
Well, I'd still have a big gash. I'd probably sniffle louder. It'd be like, like a vacuum. What was that? It was a sniffle.
That's actually how they got the, the teleporter sound from Star Trek?
Noseless man sniffling.
Yeah, that's actually the whoop.
Somebody whose like face got blown off in Korea and came back. And, like, can we use you? Isn't it weird that we have a war that's just called Korea? People from Korea are like, what? Yeah, when they say Korea, they mean their home with their friends and family and memories. And when we say Korea, we mean the fucking war, baby.
I hope they talk about it the same way. They're like, back when I was in Korea. You mean yesterday?
Yeah, I hope in Korea they refer to the war as Korea.
Yeah.
Remember Korea? That was fucked up.
Yeah.
What if that's part of what we get for winning the war? Like they wanted to call the war United States, and we're like, no, this one's called Korea.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's good enough for the episode. Episode 23, Hoppothetically with Nicky Downtown and Jordan Peterson. See you next time. Nathan, sing the outro song. It's not the outro song. No, wait, Nathan, make up an outro song right now that has lyrics. Go. About Nicky Downtown and Jordan Peterson.
I went to the motel store and I said, fuck it. I'm not going to do the whole song.
You went to the motel store?
The motel.
The store where you buy motels?
Yeah, most of them are cigarette.
I would like a Motel 6, please. Yeah. Sorry, we only have 5. That's the old model.
Yeah.
At the motel store. I think you meant moped store. Do you get motels and mopeds confused?
I do all the time.
When you go to a Motel 6, you thought it would be 6 scooters. Instead, it is 1 building.
Yeah, whenever someone's like, I'm going to ride my moped home, like, check for bud, beg bud.
All right, episode 23, everybody. Bugs. Sorry about Nathan. Sorry, we'll try to fix him for next time.
Please don't end episodes being sorry about Nathan.
Sorry about Jordan Peterson, everybody. That's why they call him Jordan Peterson, because he fucking sucks. I'll say something nice about Nathan. Got a cool shirt.
It's your shirt.
Episode 23, everybody.